So, Captain Coconut is about to arrive here at Rubicon Marina in Lanzarote, and we're happy to see him. Weather's been pretty good in the last week, so he should be reasonably relaxed. He stood offshore last night, didn't want to come in the dark to here. He was ending up at the lighthouse just on dusk, so but anyway, he had a pretty easy night, and told us about 1:30 this morning on a phone call that he will be coming in and retiring from the GGR. He's not going to aspire to Chichester class, and really it was one of those things, I think, where he really didn't know how he'd cope once he started, so he just wanted to be involved with the GGR 22 again and just see how he felt. And I look forward to hearing the whole story once he's alongside, and I'm sure it'll be an interesting story if nothing else. So quite an amazing journey he had in the first 2018 GGR, or the 4 years ago, and then an epic sailing from Adelaide non-stop to Les Sables d'Olonne for the start of this one. And as everyone knows, he had a lot of work to do to get everything ready to go, and he was very excited. He injured his knee, but I don't think that's part of the conversation at the moment. I don't think that's any reason to is not the main reason for him deciding to retire, so we'll find out very soon. But Coconut has found a new home for a while, and then he'll make plans on what he's going to do. So a bit of fun. Boat looks good, hasn't been reporting any real problems, just little minor stuff, and but obviously it's a big decision to enter the GGR, and it's just as big a decision to retire from it as well. And anyway, good to see him. It's a Lalo 34, built and designed in South Africa, and quite not a young boat. Mark refitted it substantially for 2018 race, and did the same here again. His fenders, we've just been on the radio, his fenders are actually in the lazarette. He's got to unbury them, you might say, but he's got some mooring lines organised, and we'll hold him off until he can pull the fenders out and see what's happening. So I'll just tell him where he's going alongside here. Yeah, you got that, he knows where to go, so that's cool. Boat looks pretty good actually. She's looking very cool. Yeah, very cool indeed. Flying the Burgee of the Royal South Australian Yacht Squadron on his port yard arm. He's from Adelaide, and he's got a huge following there. Though a few people there will be disappointed, but it's understandable too, because he really has had an epic few years of sailing, And anyway, it's a bit of fun for sure. It's a boat that's done a lot of miles. She's in good condition because it looks like brand new. Just had 3 weeks at sea. I'm sure he's got some good stories about the Bay of Biscay. So, maybe he's got his fenders out already on the port side. We're about to find out. That's why he's coming in. The wind's coming down from this way, so I think he's turning around to maybe get some fenders. I'm not sure. We'll see. This will be really strange, of course, being at sea for 3 weeks. You come into a different port. He's been to this spot before in the film drop in 2018, but didn't come into the marina, of course. So this is all new, all very new. Yeah. Oh, no fenders there as well. He's going to do a quick turn, I would imagine. Although these boats don't turn too quick. So I might hand this mic to Ada in a minute. She's just coming down the marina, and I'll give him a hand grabbing the lines. He's going to reverse in maybe. Okay. Hello, Mark.
Hello.
How's the illustrious Coconut? We didn't get any fenders yet, but we'll hold you off, so it's okay. Preparing for a quick exit if he needs to. Do you want to have a chat here, and I'll give him a hand when he comes through?
Oui, alors je fais les photos, donc c'est un petit peu, je ne sais pas exactement ce que vous a dit Don. J'étais un petit peu en haut tout à l'heure pour faire les photos. Don va l'aider à... Je vais mettre le micro là et je pourrais faire les deux en même temps. Don va aider Captain Coconut à faire sa manœuvre d'approche. Et puis surtout, ce que nous attendons tous, vous le savez, ce sont ses premiers mots. Pour savoir, tout à l'heure je vous disais ce que moi je pensais, mais pour savoir ce qui a motivé exactement sa décision. Donc nous meublons ici en attendant que lui soit disponible pour nous parler. Et puis vous savez, les bateaux de la GGR sont, vous le savez peut-être déjà, avec leur quille longue, tout ça, ce sont des bateaux qui sont très peu manœuvrables. Voilà.
He's hooked up, got a line ashore, so that's a start.
Oh, you need the microphone maybe? Yeah.
No, we just do, this is going to be a little bit slow for now, back and forwards.
Sorry, Stefan.
Yeah, Stefan. Stefan was Michael Goog's manager, and he's given us a hand as well. He's here in his own cruising boat, and had actually volunteered some work on electrical stuff on Captain Coconut's boat. It's called the...
This is a good question. What are we doing here? This is normal. Here is not normal.
It's called the GGR, Mark.
That's right, that's right. An adventure is a thing with unknown outcomes.
Absolutely, yes. So...
I wasn't sure whether that was a port buoy that I had to leave the port.
Ah, right. No, it's a haul-off buoy, I think. So, all good. Nearly there. Okay. Geez, your motor sounds good.
Yeah, well, 20,000 euros at auto.
Yeah.
Ada.
Okay. Okay, good to see you. I can touch you.
Yeah, well, I'm in Chichester class. I'm winning Chichester.
Absolutely. Oh, that's good. That's interesting. Yes, you could still remain in Chichester class. Yeah.
Cheers. Thank you.
Okay. Right, we're going to try and hold you off a bit, Mark, until you get you. Yeah, it won't be too hard. We can stand here and do bits. But before we... Oh, well. You want to have a quick chat before the fenders even?
Okay.
Yeah, let's have a quick
Do you want
chat.
me to just shut the engine now?
Yeah.
Shut the on?
Even though it's very quiet. So we'll hold the stern in. Is that tied on? Do you want to just take up on the stern line, Ada? Just pull it in a bit tighter. Yeah, just pull it in a bit tighter, untie it and pull it in. Ada's becoming quite the sailor these days. Ooh, she drives ribs and handles mooring lines. Yeah, that'll do. Just make fast there. Yep, that'll do. Just tie it off there. Yep, perfect.
Oh, very nice.
Yes. So good to see you again.
I'm surprised I'm not supposed to be here, but there we have it.
Yeah. Look, we were just saying, in fact, I was just speaking to Tapio on the blower,
Yep.
and he said give you a big hug and all that sort of stuff.
All right,
and,
here, let's have it. Let's have it.
That's from Tapio. He sympathises and feels for you, because he's tackling issues as well, his own way, doing the second time round.
Yeah.
So what's happening?
Yeah, well, look, I think with me, it's a slow start, much slower than I planned, and I need to be a week ahead of my last trip to make basically a rendezvous in Cape Town, so I can attend my son's wedding.
Yeah.
And I was going to go into Chichester at that stage, but this last week I'm actually running a week behind, so I've got 2 weeks to make up.
Yeah.
And it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So if it's not going to happen, I think then just look at all options, and I can continue. But if I'm not going, what it means is that if I don't go to Cape Town and I go to Brazil or here or whatever, I can't make the Hobart Gate.
Yeah.
And signing up to that means, what am I going to do? So I can keep, participating, or frankly here leave some options open.
Yeah.
The problem is once you go to Brazil, you've crossed the equator.
Yeah.
And so you really got to then continue either South Africa or through Magellan Strait or something like that. And I was actually looking at the pilot charts, and I think,
This is in terms of getting back to Australia.
Yeah. So I've got a boat that can go almost anywhere. It's full of food.
You can go anywhere.
I'm sort of ready to go anywhere. I just have to attend a wedding, and it's just that's just how it is. So I just look at the pilot charts and I think, Panama's 3,600 miles directly downwind, and then Australia's another 6,000 miles directly downwind through the northeast
or
southeast.
It's an afternoon sail for you.
You know, you sort of think, gee, that might be a bit more tempting. And it's not that I don't like the route, but I've done the South Africa thing, and if I sign up to the fact that I'm not going to meet the Hobart Gate, then let's look at all options and whatever. And I sort of thought, look, I don't need to kid myself. I'm not, I enjoyed the last race. It was fantastic. I've really enjoyed this. My only negative is feeling that I've let people down. Because a lot of people are invested, and a lot of people gave me a lot of help. So I apologise if that's the case.
Hey, we should change the conversation right there, and I'll tell you why. Remember when you arrived in the Sable d'Olonne, you had the boat, you had lots of little jobs to do. You didn't even know whether you were going to make 22.
Exactly.
And you said to me very clearly, they said, well, let's just play it by ear and see how it goes. And you made the start, right?
That's right.
This is my take on it. I'm just trying to give you my take on what's happened. And then you just say, okay, well, let's get into the start, because you don't know where it's going to go.
That's
and we both know what the GGR does to you psychologically and mentally. It's a mind game.
That's right.
And so the Biscay would have been horrible, right?
It was a tough exit, and I screwed it up last time, and I screwed it up this time.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people are understanding the fact that it was a big effort to even make the start.
Yeah,
You did it.
yeah.
And on reflection, there's lots of little issues there. You put it down to a wedding, but I get this sense there's more to it than that even, you know?
Oh, look, there is. I mean, I haven't seen my family for a year because of the last race. My mum's getting older, so, I need to catch up with her. I've got some surgery of bits and pieces that I was unable to get done in France due to the short time.
Yeah.
And so I need to attend to a few bits and pieces. So there's a bit of housekeeping that I need to do. But as I said, I've got a boat that can almost go anywhere, and it's all full of food. The only thing is I've got like 80 fresh lemons and a bag of onions. Everything else will last.
Yeah,
freeze dried.
So to short circuit that, we're not accepting your apology, right? No way. I mean, we just... Yeah, I just see this as part of what the GGR is, And
that's right, and I get that too. I get that too, and the whole thing is look, the 2018 was a fantastic thing, and it enabled me to sail around the world and go around Cape Horn and get my burgee from Sir Robin, and that was a fantastic experience. And once again, the participating in this one has been fantastic, and it's enabled me to spend more time in Les Sables d'Olonne. Last time I was only there for like the 2 weeks before the start.
They're good parties, eh?
Whereas I've been there for 3 months, although to be frank, I haven't had a day off in the last 100 days, so that's part of it too. And so probably I need to, look, there's a host of minor little things, like everything's working and fine, but you can see there are some dodgy Captain Coconut repairs. But look, I'm listening to Radio New Zealand on that this morning. So on 9.7 megahertz. And BBC Radio 4, but I've got to end friend all the halyards and service the winches and do 1,000 things. They're all minor things, but in doing all the major things, in getting away from the sub, all those other things didn't get done. They're minor, but when you put them all together with respect to, there's a wedding, there's my family, there's some surgery and stuff I need to have, and there's a whole raft of stuff. I sort of think, well, let's look at, put your cards on the table and make the best out of it. I'm sad to be out of it, but I'm also very excited because the show goes on, and it's just an adventure, whether I'm going to turn soft left or soft right.
Absolutely. There's one thing I know with the GGR, you cannot be there you got to be there for all the right reasons. You got to have the passion to maintain everything.
I'll tell you, retiring is very difficult. It's a very difficult decision, and I think a lot of I get that, and I've done it relatively easy. I've got no sponsorship. I've obviously got people who have helped me, and I feel responsible to them. But basically, there's nothing other than myself. But it's very, very hard to make that decision. But frankly, for me, I think it's the right one. And I can sort those few domestic things out and look at how I want to get home. And I sort of have a feeling for I've got that out.
I know exactly what's going to happen on Facebook. Absolutely, everyone's going to be admitting and conceding to the fact that you're a really courageous sailor. It's amazing what you've done. Just getting back to Les Sables d'Olonne, it was the right decision to get the boat ready and see what happens. It was the right decision to start, and it's the right decision now to retire. So you've done an amazing job. For me,
and we'll see how the mop flops next. But I've just enjoyed it, and I'll continue to enjoy it, and I'll be sad not to be part of it. But look, that's inevitable because
you're part of the history. You're part of the history. No one will ever forget Coconut. Wait till they see the movie of the 18 edition.
Well, I don't know. You had to cut 20 minutes, so maybe.
Yeah, now I'm going to ask A to do a translation of that short verbal.
All right, can I get some offenders?
Yeah, you get the offenders and
How
A to...
do you think I could translate that?
Oh, go for it.
Even if I were a professional translator, I couldn't translate such a long question. Je vais essayer un peu de vous dire ce que j'ai retenu de leur discussion. Le sentiment d'abord, mon sentiment plutôt que les mots. Mon sentiment c'était, je crois que je crie parce que c'est émouvant. C'est émouvant malgré tout. Nous sommes tous attachés à Captain Coconut. Et nous savons aussi combien ces décisions est difficile. C'est exactement ce qu'il disait tout à l'heure. Décider d'arrêter est quelque chose d'extrêmement difficile. Et il nous disait que la raison principale de son arrêt est d'avoir réalisé qu'il était trop long cette année. Déjà, ça reste entre nous, vous ne le direz pas. Mais déjà l'autre fois, il était quand même assez long. Hein. Et donc, il a réalisé qu'il était trop long, et qu'il fallait maintenant, et qu'il sera en Cap Town trop tard, et qu'il arrivera trop tard à Hobart, avant la fermeture de la fenêtre météo, parce que vous savez, dans les mers du Sud, vous avez les saisons, l'hiver, etc. Et que ça risquait de le faire arriver trop tard un peu partout, et que donc du coup, il n'y avait pas trop de sens pour lui de continuer. En plus, il a un mariage dans sa famille, son fils se marie. Donc toutes ces raisons lui ont fait réaliser qu'il fallait mieux arrêter. Et lorsqu'il s'agit d'arrêter, arrêter où finalement ici, ça paraissait un bon truc. Moi, j'ai la sensation, c'est juste la mienne personnelle, que peut-être quelque part dans son mental, une fois arrivé au Sable d'Olonne, il est arrivé, il a fait ce qu'il avait à faire. Il a réparé son moteur qui était cassé. Rappelez-vous, quand il est arrivé au Sable d'Olonne, son moteur était cassé. Ça lui a coûté de l'argent. Il a mis un temps et beaucoup d'énergie pour le faire. Donc moi, je suis convaincue qu'au Sable d'Olonne, il voulait le faire son tour du monde. Mais je me dis quelque part, peut-être, vous savez, on ne connaît pas les chemins du cerveau. Peut-être qu'il bouclait la boucle. Et peut-être que c'est moi qui le pense, mais peut-être qu'il y a un peu de ça. Lui, il ne nous a pas dit ça. Il nous a dit donc qu'il était trop en retard sur toute sa préparation. Il nous a aussi dit combien cette décision était difficile pour lui et combien il était déçu. Et il s'excusait même auprès des gens qu'il aura déçus en prenant le choix de s'arrêter là. C'était un moment très émouvant parce que Coconut, on le connaît, ce sont les éclats de rire, ce sont les grands sourires, c'est un chapeau, c'est tout ça Coconut. Et de le voir s'excuser et de le voir avoir de la peine, c'était assez touchant. I'm sorry you don't speak French, so I try to explain a little bit what you said before.
Good.
If you need to translate in one sentence, to resume, what's the reason and how are you feeling this morning? Comment tu te sens ce matin et quelle est la raison pour résumer un peu ce que j'ai dit tout à l'heure?
I'm saddened to be leaving the race.
Je suis triste de quitter la course.
But excited that I've got a boat that can go almost anywhere.
Mais je suis excitée à la fois d'avoir un bateau qui peut aller ailleurs. Il y a beaucoup d'options, beaucoup d'opportunités qui s'ouvrent.
Full of food and stores. I've just got to decide where.
Et puis il a assez de nourriture, il a tout ce qu'il lui faut dans le bateau. Il a juste besoin maintenant de savoir où il veut aller.
Well, to Australia, but by which route?
Et il ira en Australie à la maison, c'est évident pour lui. Mais la question c'est par quel chemin et comment?
I note that the downwind leg through the Panama goes via Tahiti and New Caledonia.
Say it again.
The downwind leg.
The downwind leg.
To Panama.
What is downwind leg?
The wind behind you, beautiful sailing.
Oui, il sait qu'à partir d'ici, il aura les beaux vents, les vents bien pour aller vers Panama, Tahiti.
And New Caledonia.
Et la Nouvelle-Calédonie.
So maybe I'll have to learn my French.
Donc il aura du temps pour apprendre français. On va t'offrir un livre de français. We'll offer you a French book, so you'll have time to.
Or maybe you can join me in Tahiti and New Caledonia.
I'm afraid no. Bon, on rigole parce qu'il faut rigoler, parce qu'avec Captain Coconut, on rigole toujours. Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup, Marc. C'est beau de savoir finalement, vous savez, dans une vie, d'avoir toutes les options. Il est là ce matin avec nous, peut-être aurons-nous un café tout à l'heure. Et puis, il a juste le gros choix, c'est de choisir par où il va.
Okay, this might be the end for Coconut in the 2022 GGR, but it's not the end of the story, I can tell you. So the orange boat will be known all around the world. Anyway, and as I said, Mark, we're not accepting your apology, okay? You understand that clearly?
Okay.
And I'm sure everyone's the same.
All right.
Good job.
Cheers.
Keep having fun. Anything you want to say to sign off?
No, look, thanks for all the support that I've had from from everyone, back home with my family, and but also in La Sabla, particularly with the people that adopted me, and also so that's Jackie and Simon and Kim, and but also the team that came over from Australia, Phil, Simon, and Rian that came up from South Africa. I've probably forgotten someone, but it's been very fantastic, and obviously all the GGR family as well, and that's sort of it's important, and it's a lovely family to be involved in. So look, I'm very thankful for the ability to participate, and I stopped with no regrets, and looking forward to the next non-GGR element in my life of getting this home, and without too many surprises. But
you'll have to send us a picture of the boat full of coconuts, under the palm trees, from Tahiti and French Polynesia and all that sort of stuff, and fish.
Qu'il veut qu'il nous envoie des photos de son bateau plein de noix de coco à Tahiti, à Nouvelle-Calédonie.
Yeah, and you'll have to be back for the prize giving, of course. You get another globe, you see.
Well, she's been through Tahiti before, and in some old logbooks I've seen, there's even a suggestion that the guy who owned it at the time met Bernard Matessia in Tahiti.
Ooh, okay.
So he's got a lot of history.
The
boat was designed in the early 60s and was built in the early 80s. So it's sort of been around for a while, and it's done 3 circumnavigations now. So it's great.
Okay, all good. Thank you, Mark.
All right, thank you.
Have fun.
Cheers.
Enjoy the ride. Thank you, Ada. See you later. That's it.
Bientôt pour Arnaud. When we are
Arnaud, it'll be sometime, could be early hours of tomorrow morning. Well, definitely tomorrow morning.
Arnaud Gast, le concurrent français que nous attendons toujours, le dernier qui arrivera ici, est attendu, on l'espère, vers demain matin. Merci beaucoup. À demain matin. Bye bye.
Okay. See ya. Bye bye.